Hi, Carol here, and welcome to my craft room. We're going to do a poinsettia card today, and it is a very special card because we're going to use and decorate ribbon, and it is going to have clasp because it is a 6x7 inch card. So here I got out as many little dies as I could possibly think of for the foliage on the poinsettia card, and it is absolutely stunning. Before my mother passed away, I would do one special card for her at Christmas, and it would be an over-the-top card, and I would specially design it for her. And I haven't done one of these type cards since her passing, and I thought today would be the day that I dedicate this card to my sweet mom, who's in heaven now. So I'm using this beautiful gift. It is the Shimmer Gold by Reflections that I got as a gift from my friend Patty, and I wanted to save it just for this day and for this card that I'm doing for you. And I decided to get out my Stampin' Up! Embossed plate and do the dots. And the reason I like these dots, if you have this plate, they're nicely deeply embedded, especially in 65-pound cardstock. But you know, in this cardstock, I actually make this card very thick. I put 2 more layers on it, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So I've cut my shimmer paper down to 6x7, and now I'm just going to make some marks so that I can cut out just a little bit of the burgundy paper for underneath. And the reason why I didn't cut the center out of this like I usually do to save on cardstock on the burgundy Gina K Luxury cardstock is because when you're dealing with this 65-pound card, you would see that. You would see the edges of having to cut it out. So I left it whole underneath. So I have my sequin tape, and I'm taping it down to the burgundy, and I decided to go with just a tone on tone again. And it is this burgundy and the white shimmer paper, and I'm telling you, this is beautiful, beautiful paper. So I'm making my card now. I added an inch to the top right there. I'm just trying to see how much I am going to need, and I needed it 7 inches long. Well, actually 8 inches long, because I have this, sorry, 6.5 inches long, because the top fold is a 1/2 inch that I score, because you're going to need to add a piece of paper for the length. And that's what I'm doing here. So I put some sequin tape on the top, cut it off nice and crisp, and I add the bottom base. So the total ends up to be a 6x7 inch card. And I'm doing a voiceover very late again. So we'll see if we get through this 28-minute video. It's quite an intense card, but I miss doing this for my mom, and I thought today would be the day to do and put it aside as a special card for somebody. So I took my Tombow Mono Multi glue so that I had some wiggling room here, and I put it on the card base. Aren't those dots beautiful around that paper? I just love them. And now I'm taking my Martha Stewart Fancy Gate punch, and I'm going to do 2 of these eventually, one for inside and one for the back. And this was wonderful. I took out my E6000 spray adhesive, which I should have used it for most of the card, but I didn't. Yes, but I did use it for this, and something about this glue is amazing. It's not very sticky to the hands when you're touching it there, but it does not come up. It is beautiful. So now I took my RV99, my Copic markers, so that I could get the exact color pearls on the back. And the reason why I have that gate Martha Stewart punch there is to hide that 1/2 inch fold on the back of my card. And if you know me, and you watch my videos, you know that I do just 3 out of 4 sides of the card. So I'm working on the back right now, and I'm putting the pearls, interchanging the colors there. Now I'm putting some sequin tape, and I'm doing it on most of the card because being 65 pounds, it is very flexible cardstock, but it's so beautiful. And yes, you're right, look at I cover all of it again. I need to have my card base very thick, so I ended up putting 2 and sometimes 3. Look at that glue, I just love it. I'll be using this on all my intricate dies. I had it put away and didn't realize that I looked over on my shelf and I saw it there, and I thought, what am I doing? You should be using that, and look at it. It is beautiful. Now I took out this dotted folder. I'm not sure what the name of that is, but you can see it down there. It matched beautifully with the dots. Well, here I decided to use my Big Shot Pro. It is huge, and you can see how much I have left over in card space on this thing. And I took out a lot of my poinsettia dies to do this card, and I just kept die cutting and die cutting and die cutting until I had at least 5 little containers. Look at them there. I just wanted to have, when I sit down to do a card like this, I want to have a lot of elements. And look at that. That's what I have there. And I was just, first of all, I got out all my die cuts and I set them aside, and then I decided how I was going to do the card as I was moving along. And here I liked those 2 clasps that I cut out of a different die set, one I got from my stash. Now I wanted to show you this. This was cut, I measured it, it looked like one side was bigger than the other side, and sure enough it was. So the left side there, right where I'm pointing to, see how the difference is? It just and I thought, there's no way I'm starting over. Oh no, 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 no. So what you do is on the big side right there, what I'm showing you is, and it's A-OK, I am going to really embellish the left side, and that way you're not going to see it. You're only going to see the thin right side, and it really is a good illusion to just fill up the side that has, well, one of the sides. So what we're going to do here now is I'm taking my little magnets, and I'm telling you, these are amazing. They stick like crazy, and you want that if you're going to do clasps. So here I took out, I didn't spray these. I don't know why, because it would have only taken a minute to turn them over and spray it with the E6000. I guess it was a nice quiet day, and I was enjoying this card, and I was thinking of my mom, and which made it extra special, and I really didn't care how long it took me. I wanted to do something special for her. I thought these vines would look really pretty on the bottom. It's such a sweet element. This die comes with a set for the top of a house, and it's really pretty because you get 2 different sides there. See how it kind of comes up, and it was nice. So I thought, okay, that took me a long time with my beacon glue. I used that instead of the glossy accents, and look what I do here. I get out my E6000. I guess I did care how long it was taking me, so I thought I'm going to try and see on the intricate die how long it would take me. So there's the E6000. I grabbed some paper towel, set it down, and I'm telling you, I love this spray. I highly recommend it. It is wonderful. You just put a paper towel over it, and when it dried, there was no marks, absolutely none. And look at that beautiful paper. I love it. So I got out my Stampin' Up! Diamond set, and this is really funny. I end up using all of them. Yes, this whole card took a whole package of those diamonds. Yes, and but that's okay because this is a special card, and pearls and diamonds just seem to be the right thing to add. So now I'm taking, I have quite a bit of, sorry about my arm there, I have quite a bit of poinsettia dies that I have in my stash. And I decided to use all of them. The small ones, there was just so many intricate dies, and all I did was use the, this is the beacon glue. I always talk about the beacon glue because you get 3 times as much, and it works exactly and dries exactly like glossy accents. So I used that. Even, look at, do you know how just spraying these would have taken no time at all? There's something about, I just enjoy doing detail, I guess. And so anywho, yeah, so here we go. I'm adding all different types of the dies to make it look really pretty. And this is the back of my card now, don't forget. This isn't the front, this is the back. And I just love cards that have the front and the inside and the back decorated. So I add a little poinsettia down in the middle like that. Isn't that pretty? I just love that paper patty. Paper patty. This is my paper patty, yes. And it's called Shimmer Gold. I know I said it before, but it's simply stunning. So here I took some really nice satin ribbon and I cut it into a point, and I decided that I was going to make the ribbon clasp, but not only that, I'm going to decorate the ribbon, and I'm telling you, it is beautiful when it's finished. I don't know why, I just thought, you know what, I am going to decorate my ribbon. I think it will add to this card, and it sure does. And in the light, you only decorate the one side, and it shows through on the other side, depending on the ribbon you pick. But this satin ribbon with the shimmer paper just looked beautiful. So I had these, remember I bought these beautiful Sizzix dies, and these just reminded me of clasps. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get my magnets out, and I am going to use them to open and close the card. And I do it in a unique way, that which you'll see when we start doing the card. So here I'm taking my bling bling, and it has little wee holes. See them? Four of them in the top and the bottom of that die cut. And so I embed those diamonds right in there, and that's where I'm putting it on the back. So you're going to have to, on the inside of the card, put one of your magnets, right, because that's where it's going to stick. But I'm going to put a little hummingbird on the other side, so you're not even going to know that there's a magnet there. So here I'm just showing you that the magnet is on the inside, like that. And then when we start to decorate the inside of the card, we will cover that with little hummingbirds. Isn't that pretty with the Martha Stewart gate punch on the bottom? So now I have my stash of all my die cuts, and I'm just grabbing them to see what would look pretty. So here I am adding with the beacon glue a lot of the very intricate parts of these cutout dies, which are so pretty. And it had a lot of little tiny poinsettias, and just a lot of elements I cut out. That's one of the little poinsettias there in the middle. Then I added a little rhinestone. So pretty, isn't it? Now I decide to decorate the front of my clasp, my ribbon clasp. And I thought the more delicate look on here, the better. And I grabbed my glue gun here and started putting it on, securing it, because it is going to open and close. So now I'm taking the back off of my embossing folder to put it in the center. And this also has, see the ribbon, I put 2 magnets because this is for the front, and it's going through 2 cardstock. So it's going through 65-pound cardstock. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was crazy trying to get that up after I put it down. Isn't he cute? And so I put 2 magnets on there, and here's where I decorate the inside of the magnet opening as well. I put the 2 magnets down on the front, and you're not going to see them there. They're underneath the poundage of cardstock, the paper. So you have 120 pound it's going through, and you have the 65-pound stock. So I thought 2 would secure it nicely. And see how I have all my bins filled with all of my die cuts before I start my project, because I don't like things all over the place. I like to have them all ready and separated, and I know what's where. So here the clasp, I put a little poinsettia over the clasp, and with 2 of those flat magnets, it just goes on there like, oh, just like crazy. So now I am in the decorating process, and I know this video is extremely long, but when you make a card like this, I thought you would enjoy the whole process. I'm just looking at those dots on the card. I think it's so pretty using that Stampin' Up! Embossing plate, and how it matched so perfectly with that embossing folder. It's amazing what you find in your stash, isn't it? So here I'm testing out the clasps to make sure that they close, because they even have poinsettias underneath them. And those tiny magnets I bought at Sharon's store are amazing. If I think of it, I'll put the name of them on my blog. So here we're just starting the embellishing stage. I've got some of the foliage out that I want to add, and I just want to sweep it over, and I keep testing it, you know, so I don't put too much underneath the clasp. So here I'm cutting out a little piece of the flourish. Isn't that pretty? And that's to a die of poinsettia die, because they're all little poinsettia leaves on there. And I thought it'd be very pretty for the top. I added the little poinsettia in the middle, the shimmer paper with a little bling in it. And here I'm just putting all of that. Boy, I would have saved a lot of time if I had sprayed all of it. Yeah, I'm deciding, okay, where do I want this? Right there. I don't want to hide any of those dots if I can help it, because they're just so pretty. And working with the 65-pound cardstock is really nice when you're doing embossing too. Get a real good emboss. So now we're working on the inside. Look at this die. Oh, I'm so happy. That Just Right die haul I bought was worth every penny, just in the poinsettia here collection that I have collected over time. It wasn't all in that haul. I have a thing for poinsettia dies, and I just love them. Look, you can see why, can't you? So here I put 5 little bling diamonds on that poinsettia, and I am closing it just to see. Oh, what I put in there was a little burgundy dot that came out of my dies I kept. And now I'm going to the back, and see how if I ever stop moving this card. And that's why I started my video out with the hummingbirds, because I added hummingbirds on the back of the card. So that's why they're on the front of the video. I'm having such a fun time editing. So that's why I added those. So now you can't see the bottom there, but I am taking all of these pretty poinsettia outside dies. They do 3 in 1, and they do all different sizes. It's so pretty. And yeah, so I'm only working with the Gina K burgundy paper and the shimmer paper, which is nice because you're not trying to figure out what color you have to lay down on your card. You know it's either or. So there's the back, and we're back to the front, and I'm going to start to decorate my clasp in the front. So I add my bling with the beacon glue. I just put it down in the holes, and the Stampin' Up! Diamond bling there is perfect. It fit perfect in those little holes, just like it was made for it. And there you go. I love those detailed bottles too. They really help. So now this is the back, and I put a little hummingbird there so I knew where the clasp, where the magnet was. It's right under that hummingbird. And it's amazing how they hold, because look at all of that poinsettia paper I have there with the 2 magnets on the front. So I keep going back and forth. And here's where I decide I'm going to decorate the ribbon, and it's the best decision I ever made because it looks gorgeous. Well, we're getting pretty close to the end of the video, and I am plugging away here on the ribbon decorating, and it just came together wonderfully. And my decision to do the clasp on just the one side, I really like that idea as well. And I was going to do one on the top and one on the bottom, the clasps, but this came together really well. So here I'm just adding some of that wonderful beacon glue, and the teensy little poinsettia flowers came out of the die, one of the dies there, the Sizzix die, and they're so cute. I did them up in the burgundy and the white, and I'm just going to work my way to the top. And if you see, it's only about 6 inches of ribbon because I cut it off at that top poinsettia, so it's not a long clasp, maybe 5 inches even. I haven't measured it, but just looking at it there. So I'm just deciding where this vine is going to go, and I'm going to snip a little piece of that off. And we are going to proceed with all the little poinsettias and put some little diamond bling inside them. And yeah, it's just, there they are, my little diamonds. Yes. And I'm just amazed. I held them up to the light. I had my card sitting there because it was late. And when you look through it, it looks so pretty. There, see how you can see it? Okay, so now I am finishing the front of the decorated card and all of the decorating of the ribbons on the inside of the card there. I don't put it to the outside because I didn't want it to get, you know, rubbed in any way so that it came off. So I chose to put the decorations on the inside of the actual clasp. And now all I have set to do at the end is to put my diamonds on the point. There they are. They're coming on there. And yeah, isn't that pretty? I love pretty cards. So I do the edges with diamonds on the upper left and the lower right. I put 8 little diamond bling. There you go. You can see them there. I think it just came together really well. I love poinsettias. Now, and there's my little hummingbirds, and I'm doing another little bling for the upper left corner. I think this is for. I enjoyed making this card. I can't even tell you, it was kind of disappointing to stop creating it. I just sat there and so many memories flooded in of my mom, and I just pictured myself making this for her, and I know she would have loved it. She loved dainty, delicate cards that I made. I hope you as well are enjoying the process of this card that I'm making for you today. I really felt inspired to do something like this, and to do an over-the-top Christmas card in memory of my sweet mom. Well, here's a close-up of the card so that I wanted you to see the dots, how they match so perfectly on the going around the card as they do on the embossing folder. And now I'm adding little poinsettias on the foliage so that it stands up. I thought that would add a little extra special touch, that it's not flat to the card. Gives it a little bit of dimension on there. And then I add a little bit of beacon glue for my bling bling, yes, on the inside. And yeah, so everything that kind of went out, there you go. Look at, I'm shaking it really hard so you can see that those little magnets hold wonderfully. And now I'm giving you a close-up of the ribbon on how pretty it looks. I turn it over. This is the front section of the ribbon that goes on to clasp the card open and closed. And there's my little hummingbirds. Aren't they cute? And there's the front. Now, this is really funny on the inside. I have to tell you this. I wanted to put a Merry Christmas, so I did, I put Merry Christmas, but see that poinsettia that I'm gluing down? Yes, the Mary's underneath it, because when I went to stamp the Merry Christmas on there, there was a diamond on the other side and it messed up the Mary part. So I could just covered it. Yeah, a poinsettia, you never know that the Mary was all messed up under there. So Christmas looked very nice. I used the Wow Vintage Amethyst embossing powder. But see, you don't know that Mary is all messy underneath that poinsettia. That's the wonderful thing, isn't it, about doing cards? I had to show you that. So here I am doing it on this side where nothing was underneath. Oh, I was so glad. You should have seen the look on my face when I took that stamp up and it was all messed up. I thought, no. Yeah, so there it is, Merry Christmas, and I'm going to heat set that after I take the little bit of dots off there. Look at that beautiful glitter on that. Isn't that pretty? And I think that's all you need. And look at all this bling I had left over. This is all my die cuts. And I used the Merry Christmas from the ton set of the Stamp of Approval kit that I love. And I encourage you to paper decorate your ribbon clasps because they really do look sweet. And I want to thank you for enduring the 28 minutes and 10-second video I put out for you today. And there, I'm just showing you how quickly, like, it just grasps hold of the cardstock. Those, so now I set my little church there and put my card up just to show you how nice it looked. And it's a metal church. So I want to show you when I put that clasp on there how it sticks onto the church. It's so pretty. There's the back. Yep, there's my little clasp. I take it off, I lay it down there, and there's the Merry Christmas by the ton. And it's so pretty, and it's hiding my Mary underneath. And I folded that all up just to make sure that everything would stay crisp, and it does. Thank you so much to my subscribers and everybody that leaves comments. I appreciate you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this card. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend.